you know that the GOP doesn't want us to have legal weed in this country, and I don't smoke it. I couldn't give two fucks about it because I have a job where I couldn't even use it if it was legal. The thing is that they want it to be illegal again, even though it's bringing in tons of money for schools, tons of money for education, tons of money for about any project the state that has legalized weed could possibly want that money to go towards too. But Representative Trent Franks did an interview with CNN on Wednesday and was trying to explain why we need Trump's border wall.
I would assume anyone named Trent has been definitely deep inside of token some weed.
Oh, he's smoked. Everyone is
sure.
smoked.
No, not everyone.
No.
Not even on this panel.
Nope. Sadly, he was being completely serious when he made this ridiculous assertion, and this comes from addictinginfo.org, so whatever source we got it from, just letting you guys know. We sometimes used to make the point that if somebody wanted to smuggle a dangerous weapon into America, even a nuclear weapon, how would they do it? And he said, the suggestion is maybe we'll hide it in a bale of marijuana.
In a bale, because that's how they come in.
Yes, that's how they
Sales?
transport.
Yeah.
There are
That's how
national.
they transport
I'm
marijuana.
uninitiated, but I didn't know they came in bales.
They don't, Jeff.
No,
They don't come in bales.
You don't. First, you don't bail it. That's just no.
Yeah, you'll never get
Yep.
uniform drying that way. It'll never work.
Yeah.
And you don't
Not
take
I'm
you
so
don't take
naive.
the whole fucking plant. You don't need to. Nobody wants the stalk. Nobody wants.
Nobody needs that shit. It makes great hemp. Like,
Yeah.
you do hemp with
Yeah.
that.
I mean, yeah.
You can cook with it and you can make paper out of it and stuff. Yeah, but that's
That's
not.
actually a terribly good paper. It's very renewable. Delightful.
And so he says there are national security implications here for a porous boulder. Boulder.
What?
Border. A border.
Border.
Porous
Okay.
border. Sorry, porous boulder just kind of came out because blah, blah. As a group of nations, what? We need
What?
to
I
understand.
thought we were America First now. I thought we didn't think we were doing a group thing anymore.
Well, we need to understand that America is the world's flagship of freedom. Honestly, we're not anymore, guys. No.
Mm.
Yeah, our freedoms are actually pretty lacking.
Yeah. If we don't have a secure border, that hurts everyone in the long run. And we lost Jeff again. We'll let him come back in. As absurd as an idea this is, it isn't the first time that it's been suggested that someone could sneak in a nuclear weapon by stuffing it inside bales of pot. So earlier this month, Representative Brad Sherman made the comment that, quote, missile defense is okay politically, but remember, you can smuggle a nuclear weapon inside of a bale of marijuana. They are getting talking points. That's what this all has to be. They have to be getting told this from like Reince Priebus and all those other fucktards out there.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We can actually like import black market green onions, scallions.
Yeah.
We can import and those are grown in Mexico because I know when I go to the grocery store and I buy my green onions, they're a product of Mexico, turns out. So I mean, we could totally black market green onions, and yes, grocery stores will buy that because they could just not check whether it's black market or not. Why can't we smuggle them? Why can't we smuggle it in under green onions? I mean, they're like a whole plant. Like they're a whole, they're a whole onion thing. Like, and just
orange is the new black, and you need to bring in the nuclear weapons along with whatever things you're bringing to the kitchen. But here's what they want to explain here is that David Kay of the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, explains that this scenario might be as ridiculous as it sounds on the surface. And he said, I've often said my preferred method for delivering a nuclear device is I would hide it in he uses the same fucking term, bale of marijuana, and contract it out to the drug lords and move it. What the hell?
Yeah, because this guy is totally an expert in drug moving.
Well,
this guy knows
because
this guy.
Yeah, because you just totally call your Mexican hookup to get a delivery here. He says marijuana is actually a good shielder for radiation. The drug lords have a superb record for delivery. They're not FedEx, but they're awfully close to it, and contract it out and get it across the border.
How does he know that?
He must
how does that
kidding
smuggling little boys? I don't know.
Radiation? How? Wait. Where is the evidence that marijuana
shields radiation?
Yeah, where? Because like I feel like if it was a good shield for radiation, we would have been using that already.
We'd have nuclear reactors made out of marijuana.
Yeah, you would think.
Just fields of marijuana around nuclear reactors.
Yeah. What exactly are the properties of marijuana that make it so resistant to radiation?
It's a fucking weed.
Well, and here's the here it continues on. I mean, this is not that's 3 people now that we've had say bale of marijuana when it comes to smuggling this stuff. Bales of marijuana.
Because that's how we do it.
So Frank Ciuffo, whatever the fuck you guys want to say this, he's the director of the George Washington University's Homeland Security Policy Institute. That sounds like a farm for fucking stuffy white collars if I've ever heard of one. He said back in 2014, if you want to smuggle in a tactical nuclear weapon, just put it in a bale of marijuana. This is somebody floated this idea and like, yeah, that sounds completely fun. We could just go ahead and use that. Let's be bales of marijuana.
Bales.
It's
not like do they really think that they're just driving a truck over the border that's like baled marijuana and like border agents are like, looks good. Looks good.
Yeah. Like to be honest, just like I am. It was like seriously, I used to think literally there were bales and bales. You see those huge trucks that have this wheat that comes off the back of the truck in massive bales. That's exactly what I used to think actually happened.
Yeah, no, they divide
they have a combine that goes along and cuts all of it down, and then it puts it into bales into a baler, and then you have to have some farmhand go along in the back of a truck hoisting it up with a pitchfork. It's
no, what they're doing is that they're dividing it up parts people actually want to smoke, and then they're sending pounds of it with people packed up in individual cars
or
that will be cavities. Unlikely to be, or body cavities. Marijuana, I doubt marijuana makes it into body cavities that often, honestly.
It does if you go to Japan.
They're sending it through cars, and they're sending it up through sometimes planes. They're sending it through places that people aren't going to look.
Trebuchets and on the border.
They're doing 5, 10, 20 pounds, maybe 2 pounds. 2 pounds of marijuana is a lot.
Yeah,
2 pounds of marijuana is a lot of marijuana. That's a lot.
The author of this article quips it out here with and we're gonna let him have the closing line to this one because it's fucking funny. He said, "Luckily, we don't have to worry about any of this because Trump's gonna build this massive wall, and no bad people will ever be able to get into our country again."
Of course.
That was my airplane sound.
Of the sarcasm.
Marijuana.
It burns.
Are they aware of airplanes? Are they familiar with airplanes? Or boats?
No, they're really not.
That's the one that really gets me.
In my case, actual reality.
Whenever I watch Game of Thrones and there's the whole like North Wall thing where there's the big ice wall thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they have boats?
No, they're ice people. They stink. They're ice.
Then they must have like ice flows and
no, those are the Canadians.
What are you talking about?
The Canadians are about to reveal their ice wall. I bet you they will. They'll be like, "Fuck you, America."
Those seas is treacherous. Did you read the books?
No.
Did you read the books?
No, I've watched the show. I don't read fantasy. I can't do it. I can read Harry Potter, but I can't do fantasy. I can read the most cleft asshole sci-fi that's out there, but I can't read fucking fantasy. I just can't do it.
Next year's my spirit animal. I just keep saying that, but you're my spirit animal.
He went to the trailers and more. I'm like, and if it has like an apostrophe in the name, I just go, "Oh fuck you," and I stop reading it. I'm just like,
yeah, you just skip over it. You just okay, that series of sounds, and you just don't sound it out in your head.
And then the dragon scales were the color of I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, you just skip over it. You're just like, and orange. Got it.
I almost had a problem with Harry Potter reading that because somebody deigned to name a kid in there Hermione. And I'm like, Hermione? That's a weird name. Hermione. And then I watched the movie and it's Hermione. And I'm like, the fuck?
That's not what that said.
So
who's Hermione? What the?
So I actually read.
Hermione.
Hermione. I read her name Hermione.
Hermione.
Like that's how I actually was like I started out I'm like Hermione.
Or
so like the Hermione.
Hermione.
I was like, oh, that works just fine.
And I'll lower it to say I didn't even read her name.
Just skipped over.
Fantasy.
Female character.
Skip right over it. Yep.
Now to be completely honest with Game of Thrones, that's kind of how it had to be for like the first 2 seasons of watching it. You're like, which person is this again? And like right now, you might know it's Lord Baelish, Littlefinger, and all this other fun stuff. Be like, oh, that's the CIA guy from Dark Knight Rises. That's right. I forgot about him. He's the one that's trying.
Yeah. No, Game of Thrones.
Which one's that?
That's regularly reference back to the index. Like I had like the index bookmark, so I could be like, oh yeah, that's
that guy.
Oh, this family. Like I actually had to like reference the index. Like
that's very biblical of you, Felicia.
No, it was just because I cared.
That's too much
the
work.
Bible's boring. The Bible's like there's 5 battles going on.
The only reason I know anything about it is because people call me Joffrey.
How can you be a Joffrey? That doesn't make any sense.
I have no idea. I don't even know what that means.
Joffrey starts.
Means you're a pretentious little shit. Oh, that's right.
Oh.
No. She just said Jay.
I'll own it.
She's just like Joffrey and Jeffrey. I just got it. I just got the connection there. Sorry.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, see, nobody else connected the dots.
Necessarily fully.
Connect the dots.